Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
Last night, the entertainment world stopped in its tracks. What began as a routine television appearance turned into a raw, unfiltered confession that no one saw coming. Actress Zhao Lusi, known for her radiant smile and youthful charm, broke down in tears on live TV. And by her side, singer-actor Liu Yuning stood firm, revealing truths that sent shockwaves across Asia. This wasn't just an interview. It was a turning point in the battle for freedom and dignity inside China's entertainment industry. For years, Zhao Lusi was admired as the radiant starlet who seemed to embody effortless charm and endless promise. Her smile lit up the screen, her performances captivated audiences, and her public image reflected nothing but joy. Yet behind the carefully polished exterior lay a silent struggle that few could have imagined. Last night, that silence was shattered. In a moment of rare vulnerability on live television, Zhao Lusi opened her heart to millions of viewers and revealed a hidden truth that had weighed heavily on her for years. Her voice trembled as she spoke, yet there was an undeniable strength beneath the breaking tone. She confessed that the very agency meant to guide her career had instead become the source of her deepest wounds. Cool Entertainment, the company that had shaped her rise to fame, was accused of suffocating her creativity, manipulating her choices, and systematically eroding her self-worth. Every dress she wore, every role she accepted, and every smile she forced became part of a performance crafted not for her growth, but for the company's gain. The audience watched as her carefully maintained composure dissolved. The tears flowing down her face told a story even more powerful than her words. A story of loneliness, of nights spent questioning her own value, and of a young woman enduring the weight of invisible chains. It was not only her career that had been managed, but her very sense of self. She admitted that over time, she began to doubt her own instincts, to wonder if her achievements belonged to her talent or merely to the control of others. What made this moment even more piercing was the presence of Liu Yuning. He sat beside her, not as a celebrity seeking attention, but as a witness and a friend who had seen the truth long before the cameras did. He recalled how she would arrive on set after sleepless nights, trying to hide the remnants of tears with a smile. His voice carried both pain and anger as he affirmed her story, exposing the cruelty he had observed firsthand. Together, their testimony transformed a simple interview into an emotional reckoning. This was the breaking point. It was not just a confession of personal suffering, but a declaration that silence would no longer protect those who exploit. In that moment, Zhao Lusi reclaimed the narrative of her own life, and millions of viewers saw her not only as a star, but as a woman finally daring to break free. What unfolded on that stage went far beyond the surface of scandal. It was not simply a clash between a star and her management. It was the revelation of a hidden reality that challenges the way audiences perceive the entertainment world. As Zhao Lusi spoke, each word pulled back another layer of the carefully constructed illusion that had surrounded her for years. She revealed that behind every glamorous red carpet and every poster that bore her smiling face, there had been unseen compromises, contracts that bound her spirit, and opportunities stolen before they could ever reach her hands. The power of her testimony did not lie solely in the accusations themselves, though they were shocking enough. She described canceled projects that could have defined her career, roles that were denied not because she lacked talent, but because financial disputes between companies took precedence over her artistic growth. She described how rumors, whispered in hallways and amplified online, had been deliberately planted to control her image and keep her tethered to a narrative she did not choose. For many, this would have been just another celebrity scandal, but what captured the world was the way she told her story. She did not speak like a victim trying to provoke pity. She spoke like a human being who had been stripped of freedom and was now demanding it back. The atmosphere in the studio shifted as she found strength in her own vulnerability. Her words resonated not only with fans who admired her work, but with anyone who had ever felt trapped by systems larger than themselves. She became, in that moment, more than an actress. She became a mirror for countless others who suffer in silence, whether in the same industry or in their own private battles. And yet, this was also a story of resilience. What kept audiences glued to their screens was not just the darkness of what she endured, but the light of her determination to rise beyond it. Liu Yuning's presence amplified that light. His steady support underscored that her account was not an isolated tale but a shared truth, one that demanded recognition. Together, they showed that friendship and solidarity can pierce even the most carefully maintained facades of power. Beyond the scandal lay something larger, a call for dignity, a cry for fairness, and a reminder that behind the headlines and performances are real lives shaped by choices, struggles, and the courage to finally speak. What gave this interview its lasting power was not only the unveiling of suffering, but the birth of a new perspective that went beyond pain. In speaking out, Zhao Lusi did more than recount the shadows of her past. She carved a vision of transformation that resonated far beyond the walls of the studio. For the first time, she spoke of reclaiming her own narrative, of daring to choose freedom over submission, even when the price could be her career. There was no certainty in her voice, but there was conviction, the kind that inspires others to question the systems that confine them. Her words were not framed as defeat, but as a declaration that growth begins the moment one refuses to remain silent. Audiences watching across continents could sense the significance of this moment. They saw a young woman who had once seemed untouchable in her stardom, now stripped bare of glamour, yet radiating a deeper kind of strength. She made it clear that her fight was not only about roles or contracts, but about identity, dignity, and the right to create without fear. This shift in tone elevated the interview beyond scandal into something more enduring. A conversation about justice, resilience, and the cost of being true to oneself. In the hours that followed, the impact spread rapidly. Mental health advocates spoke of the courage it takes to name psychological abuse in an industry where silence is often rewarded. Legal experts debated the implications of her revelations, suggesting that they might mark a turning point in how talent contracts are structured and enforced. Even producers and insiders, who normally keep their distance from controversy, began to hint that her words reflected patterns they had quietly observed but never dared to admit. What emerged was not just sympathy for Zhao Lusi, but a wave of collective reflection. Fans began to share their own experiences of being undervalued, controlled, or silenced in different walks of life, drawing parallels between her story and their own. In this way, her courage became a bridge, transforming a personal testimony into a universal symbol of resistance. The fresh perspective was undeniable. This was not merely about what she had endured, but about what could change because she spoke. By standing at the edge of her own uncertainty and refusing to be broken, Zhao Lusi created the possibility of a fairer future, not only for herself, but for every young voice still waiting to be heard. And then there was Liu Yuning. In an industry where silence often means safety, he chose loyalty over fear. His words weren't about fame or attention. They were about standing with a friend when the world turned its eyes. That simple act of solidarity resonated deeply. It reminded us that even in a glamorous industry filled with contracts and cameras, genuine friendship still exists, and sometimes it is the only thing that keeps someone standing. So why does this story matter? Because it's not only about Zhao Lusi or Liu Yuning. It's about every young artist who has ever been told they're not good enough, every dreamer who has felt trapped by systems stronger than themselves, and every person who has had the courage to say, no more. What we witnessed on TV was more than drama. It was history unfolding. A star refusing to be silenced. A friend refusing to stay quiet. And a moment that reminded millions of us what true strength really looks like. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Update X24H and stay with us as we bring you the untold truths, the powerful voices, and the human stories behind the headlines. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and remember, sometimes the most inspiring battles are fought not on screen but behind the scenes. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.